The connection between Talbot House and St. Mary's Church has always been one of mutual benefit. While the serene surroundings were helping rebuild the lives of men, the new buildings and improvements to the grounds were invigorating an already vibrant social life centered around St. Mary's Church. Make no mistake, St. Mary's was as important to the social fabric of its community as its altar was to the spiritual life of those who worship there. For if our faith is to be at the center of our lives, it naturally follows that our church is at the center of our community. Original gatherings at Frenchvale took the form of church picnics, which sometimes lasted all day and even into the night. For many senior parishioners, their memories of good times are anchored in the two-story hall located behind present-day Talbot House, which was built in the 1930s. The hall lasted for 40 years as the site for dances and Scottish concerts. Hear the echo of Sid Musgrave Sr. on the fiddle or Sid Quinn on the accordion. Hum along with Peter Morrison accompanied by Sadie McNeil. The hall put Frenchvale on the map of Celtic culture scene of the 60s and 70s. Many top acts from Cape Breton and beyond graced the stage at St. Mary's Hall. There's a story of one very young fiddler who got toes tapping and hands clapping only to be whisked away later in the evening as a liquor inspector arrived on site. That little boy was rumored to be none other than Ashley McIsaac. So strong was the Scottish influence that St. Mary's Pipe Band was formed and practiced in the church hall. The tradition of Scottish concerts began fading in the early 70s, and when the original hall burnt to the ground, the parish sought out other ways of inviting the wider community to join them for both fun and fundraising. 25 years ago, the parish began cooking roasts, peeling potatoes, and hulling strawberries for a roast beef supper which has become an annual tradition, welcoming parishioners and guests alike to enjoy the hospitality of St. Mary's Frenchvale. The 1970s was a period of rebuilding for St. Mary's. A new hall was built behind the gardens of Talbot House. Like so much of the recent history of the parish, the building met the needs of both Talbot House and the parish community. The ground floor served as a workshop for the men, while the main floor could be transformed into a meeting room, a party room, an inviting dining room, or even a floor hockey arena. The hall soon bustled with activities, religious education, classes, Christmas parties, and community festivities. In 1991, under the leadership of a young Father Paul, a second annual supper was added in the fall to honor the seniors of our parish. The spirit of renewal continued at St. Mary's well into the 1990s. This was highlighted by bright and tasteful renovations to the interior of the church. Gone was the dull, dark paneling which hid the plaster of the church and the walls of many of our homes in the 1960s and 70s. The beautiful painting of the Assumption of Mary, brought to the church after the First World War, found its glory once again as the old altar was rejuvenated. This picture, whose artist continues to remain a mystery, has become the centerpiece of a holy and uplifting sanctuary. Nowhere is the life of a parish and a community more clearly reflected than in the faces of its children. Sunday masses filled with the squeals of young children and the hush-hushes of parents of older ones, young people serving and showing leadership, are no longer features of most churches of today. Not so at St. Mary's. Our young people are our pride and joy. St. Mary's has long prided itself on its investment in its young people, from the original covered rink built by Father Webb of stone and metal, to the innovative way that scrap metal was later sold to invest in an annual scholarship for graduating youth of the parish. From sleigh rides, day camps, and fun days, to the sponsorship of sports teams, St. Mary's was a place to put a smile on the face of young people and the energy back into the life of a rural parish. As both a focal point and a partner with organizations like the Seniors Club and the Frenchvale Road Fire Department, the parish manages to keep the young people coming back. Tuesday night floor hockey, sponsored by the parish and coached by one of our most dedicated volunteers, has come to symbolize the little parish that could. This event brings elementary school children from Balls Creek, Frenchvale, Gillis Lake, and surrounding communities, and their families, out for an evening of fun and fellowship. One can't help but wonder, If the 4 French pioneers who looked over this beautiful vale over 150 years ago and dreamt of a community and a faith that would last for generations can hear the laughter of Tuesday nights, if Our Lady of the Assumption, who looks down from her glowing portrait every Sunday, isn't smiling back at its parish and its young people, who think not so much of St. Mary's long and eventful past, but its bright and promising future.